Another step forward tonight for plans for the Lester Park Golf Course property.
A night after City Council passed a resolution supporting transferring the land to DEDA, the city's planning commission did its part.
Northern News Now's Dominic Vitiello was at that meeting, and Dom, it sounds like it wasn't a totally smooth process tonight.
Yeah, Dan and Laura, the plan moves forward tonight, but not without a lot of discussion and disagreement among some commissioner members. The recommendation to sell the land of Lester Park Golf Course to DEDA did occur Tuesday night, but not before contingency amendments were put in place to ensure DEDA complies with what city staff and residents are asking for.
We're only selling those portions that are indicated in the study.
Okay, so you feel like that's enough of a contingency?
Well, they can't sell it if they don't have it. We're only giving them parts that says, the study says to give them.
Now a land use study must be done before the city can sell to DEDA. According to city staff, a land use study will begin, which due to additional asks from council will take roughly 9 months to complete.
Probably next fall, before the future land use changes would come forward. Planning Commission and City Council do get to weigh in on the future land use changes.
During this phase, there will also be a public comment period before rezoning and adopting the study, which would sell to DEDA to take control and put out requests for proposals on Lester Park.
Steps in the process include a formal environmental review process and a public sale process, which then would be, at that point, a couple years from now, would be the time when it's actually going through a public sale to likely a private developer.
If the sale eventually goes through, 50% of that money will come back to the city. Reporting in studio, Dominic Vitiello, Northern News Now.